Hey everyone, this was definitely the most requested topic to make a video on in last night's suggestion on the page. Do it! And it's a pretty interesting one too, so let's get right into it. What if Order 66 failed? As we know, Order 66 was the order given by Emperor Palpatine just after the death of Mace Windu, and the transformation of Anakin into Darth Vader. The order was programmed into the clones' heads by way of an inhibitor chip, which controlled their minds to take out the Jedi and served the Chancellor. The rest of the events that led to this are what we know today. But what if we go into another timeline? An alternate universe, and one that I think makes much more sense, at least in some ways. What if Order 66 failed? Jedi have decades of training, mastering the Force above all else. Their first and foremost abilities were to be able to sense their surroundings and feel any threats, such as when Anakin and Obi-Wan could even feel the Kuhans that attempted to poison Padme in Episode 2. The Jedi not being able to sense the complete 180 turn of the clones, raising their guns on them and firing, would have been enough of a shift in the Force, just as Yoda had felt, in order for them to escape or at least have an advantage to fight back harder. The Jedi Temple events, however, would continue to play out the way they did, as Anakin was far too powerful for any Jedi in the Temple. He would then go to Mustafar as ordered, while the rest of the clones would continue to take out Jedi, slowly being killed one by more advancing Jedi. Plo Koon would still be alive, so would Sakura, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Sindralig, and the list goes on. Of course, not every Jedi would live. However, the most powerful and Force-attuned ones would. After Anakin was ordered to Mustafar by Palpatine, Yoda would meet with Obi-Wan at the raided Jedi Temple, and they would send a beacon out to all survivors of Order 66, where we would see essentially almost the entire Jedi Council return, with the exception of Anakin Skywalker, of course, who was now Darth Vader. We have to remember, this doesn't give Palpatine enough time to leave the city, as all of these events took only a few hours at the most to execute. He wouldn't have heard back from the commanders because 1, they'd all be dead, and 2, he'd assume they were still carrying out orders. Yoda would send Obi-Wan and Plo Koon to Mustafar to seize and capture Anakin to be tried in Galactic Court, while he would take Ki-Adi-Mundi, Sindralig, and Aayla Secura to confront the Emperor, while the remaining Jedi would dissipate to hunt down as many clones as they could, if any remained. After telling Padme about what Anakin has done, he and Plo would sneak onto her ship until they landed on the fiery planet. Yoda and the Masters would fly to the Chancellor's office in Coruscant to once and for all bring an end to the Sith Lord, who had been right under their very noses for so many years. As Padme's ship landed, she stepped out to meet Anakin when he looked up to see Obi-Wan and Plo Koon standing in the opening of the ship's extended plank, their silhouettes almost godlike as the light cast a shadow illuminating their outline embossed in the red blaze of the red bubbling lava. Anakin yelled at Padme, choking her until Plo, who was much more quick to stop this than Obi-Wan, jumped in the air and shot Force Judgment onto Anakin. Now, Force Judgment, for those who don't know, was Plo's equivalent to Sith Force Lightning. However, not as entirely powerful, it still hurt Anakin enough to stop his attack on Padme as he let go and she stumbled backwards, running up to Obi-Wan. This angered Vader even more. The betrayal he felt was compounded only with hatred he couldn't even compare with to the heat of the planet's melting core. As he ignited his lightsaber, so did Obi-Wan and Plo. Sidious frowned at Yoda as he watched his royal red guards fall to the floor. Yoda and the 3 Jedi Masters entered his office, all igniting their lightsabers. Palpatine tried to escape, knowing he was no match for the 3 Masters and Grandmaster Yoda. With no exit strategy, he turned to face them, telling Yoda,
"Your arrogance blinds you, Master Yoda,"
and ignited his lightsaber. He attempted the same strategy as he had with Mace and his Legion of Masters, thrusting his saber into Sakura's heart as she laid on the floor motionless. His speed was far too fast for her. Yoda jumped off the wall and flipped to block Palpatine's attack on Ki-Adi-Mundi, who went to strike Palpatine's head but missed and got paralyzed by a jolt of Force Lightning. As he withered on the floor, Yoda watched as Dralig's head rolled on the floor. He was astounded by Palpatine's speed and precision, swinging as fast as he could and blocking just as hard. The two were evenly matched, as Yoda sent Palpatine flying back with a strong Force push, using this time to run to Ki-Adi, who started to regain his consciousness once again. Helping him up, the two Jedi Masters ran towards Sidious. Anakin and Obi-Wan exchanged immense hits while Plo attacked when he could. His lightsaber abilities were amazing, but they were not on the same level as Anakin here. As they continued to fight down the corridor and into the station, Obi-Wan from the left and Plo from the right. Anakin was boxed in. Front flipping over Plo Koon, he landed attempting to strike. However, he was stopped by Obi-Wan when Plo used this advantage to shoot the most powerful amount of Force judgment onto Anakin as he possibly could. Anakin dropped to the ground, shrieking in agony as yellow thunderbolts crawled up his face and bones like spiders with daggers for legs. Obi-Wan and Plo Koon stepped over him, lightsabers an inch from his skull. They unanimously announced, "In the name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic, you're under arrest." Palpatine had to decide quickly which Jedi he would advance to kill as Ki-Adi and Yoda rushed him. He knew Yoda was far more powerful, so he decided to take out the weaker opponent first, that being Ki-Adi. This is what Yoda anticipated. Completely running up to Palpatine and flipping over him, Palpatine became confused as he blocked Ki-Adi's attack, then turned to block Yoda's when he was cut in half by the Grand Master. Laying on the floor, unable to move, his fate had taken the same turn of events as his apprentice, Darth Maul.
"Failed you have,"
said Yoda. With Obi-Wan and Plo returning to the temple as Anakin sat in the back of the ship, cuffed at the hands and feet, they went to the Chancellor's office as they saw lights flashing from within the windows. Meeting Yoda at the docking bay, he and Ki-Adi boarded the ship to take Padme to a droid crew to deliver her unborn children. Anakin would remain restrained as his orange eyes stared in hatred at the Jedi Masters, who tried to figure out what they would do with him. Banishing him from the Council and the Temple, the Galactic Senate appointed Bail Organa as Chancellor and moved to sentence Anakin to spend an eternity in prison once the security footage of the massacres at the Temple, including the slaughter of younglings, were presented. Padme would survive, and her children Luke and Leia would be trained from infancy in the Jedi Temple with Yoda, Obi-Wan, Ki-Adi Mundi, Plo Koon, and any subordinate Jedi who had survived as well. The galaxy would live in peace and harmony until Anakin would be freed from jail by the hands of a much younger and more powerful
Supreme Leader Snoke.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Would you like a part 2? If so, let me know and how you'd want it to go. I hope you all enjoyed the lightsaber contest giveaway, which was outlined in the animation video I uploaded a few days ago. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it gave you a little fun idea to the alternate ending of this timeline in the Star Wars universe. If you enjoyed the video, can we hit 6,666 likes? I think that'd be pretty cool.
Do it.
Thanks again, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends. See you all in tomorrow's episode of Star Wars Theory. Until then, remember,
The Force will be with you, always.
Now, fulfill your destiny.